Okay, we are live, and this is a special time. And 4:15 was the official start time. We're about 2 minutes late. 2 minutes late on our start, which isn't terrible. Isn't terrible. So, folks, we're going to talk once again about wearing a stunner. Once again, about wearing a gold stunner every day. And I'll tell you what triggered this broadcast is I check my Facebook memories every day, and I reshare things that's worth resharing. And a lot of the times it's things that I did for a sponsor, a client, and so I recycle that content to help promote that sponsor. So just yesterday, the day before, a Facebook memory came up, the anniversary of the War of 1812. So this was would have been 2012 and the 200th anniversary, I guess. So I covered that in Baltimore. I covered those festivities in Baltimore, and I noticed there was a photo that I took when I got back, a selfie of me wearing the 18238 Rolex Day-Date. And let me see if I can pull this up here. Let me switch to the laptop, and then I'll show you this. These are the photos that I took at that event. And when we get down to the bottom here, keep going. It's probably going to be the last photo because I took a little selfie at the end. Of course, it's going to be on the second page. And there's the selfie. And as you can see, I was wearing the 18238, and I wore that 18238 while covering the event in Baltimore. So, and I've been to Baltimore several times covering events wearing the Day-Date. And one time a gentleman tried to step to me and wanted to take, quote, all my stuff. I'm sure he included the watch, but that didn't work out real well for him. So yeah, I think you can wear a gold stunner all the time. And we've talked about this before. And the other thing that brought this conversation up again is Tom, a subscriber, this gentleman, I believe from South Carolina, or North Carolina, now I don't remember. But anyway, he's a subscriber, and he's expressed interest in buying the diver, the 231 diver. He heard me talking about possibly selling that and then wearing the 002 stunner all the time. And he has expressed interest in buying that. We had a nice telephone conversation the other day about it. And to be quite frank, I tried to talk him out of it, and he's going to get back to me as to what he wants to do. But yeah, if I were to sell the 231, then I would be kind of forced to wear the gold stunner all the time. And I don't think that would be a terrible thing. I was also watching a movie the other day with Sean Penn, and the character he played was like an ex-CIA guy or something, or involved with the CIA, or was an ambassador or something, and he was doing some work for the CIA. Anyway, he went to some African country, and it was hot and all that. He was wearing a watch with a leather strap the whole time during the movie. So, you know, the other thing that I think about when I think about this is this whole sport watch thing is a relatively new phenomenon. Yes, they had sport watches, I guess you could call them that, in the 50s or whatever. Then in the 60s, and and then in the early 70s, mid 70s, some of the Rolex models like the GMT were fairly popular, but a lot of the models like the Datejust were a lot more popular, and the Day-Date was popular for people that could afford it. Those that couldn't afford it usually bought the Datejust. The sport watches were kind of an afterthought, and they've become a big deal now, but historically they never really were. A lot of people wore watches on a leather strap. I mean, that's just the way watches were worn. back in the day. So I don't know, folks. Okay, so Ultraman Red is in the house. He says hello, all. And Cheetown's in the house. He says hey. And Busurf says so early. Yes, it is an early broadcast. And I wasn't even going to do a broadcast, to tell you the truth. But then I got some payments from some clients, and it was a pretty good day and so forth. And so I decided, what the heck, I'll just go ahead and do a show and do an early show, and then I can eat and kind of, have a nice meal afterwards and not be as rushed as I normally is if I do the 5 o'clock show. So that's why I started a little early. Kyle's in the house. He says, hey guys. And Charlie Boy's in the house. So he is saying hi. And Cheetown says, unless you're sweating your butt off or constantly in the swamp, water or rain, then a leather strap is fine. I prefer the jewelry feel of bracelets though. Cheetown. And I think it also depends on the quality of the strap. When I talked to the gentleman with HD straps and ordered my straps, he said that the leather that he uses to line the straps holds up better than the original leather on the original Grand Seiko strap. The original Grand Seiko strap, the leather was a little softer on the inside. This leather is not quite as soft, but it's still very comfortable. But he said the leather that he uses will hold up better. And then the other thing is, you want to make sure you have a strap that is stitched all the way around. The two sides are stitched together and not simply glued together. Maybe they're glued, but they're also stitched. And they stitch them with, high quality polyester thread that holds up real good and will not rot and all that. And then periodically you just clean the inside of the strap. There are things you can get to desalt leather. You can use a little bit of saddle soap. I mean, there's different ways you can clean the inside of the leather and just clean it periodically. Think about it, a holster or a lot of, tack that they use on horses and things like that. They just take care of it and it lasts a long, long time. And belts, same thing, a high quality belt, you can take care of it and it'll last. So, so yeah, and man, it's comfortable. So Craig, hypothetically, do you think you would be able to survive in prison? Yeah, I think I would do okay. I can be a diplomat. I think I would do okay. Hopefully I would go to one of those country club prisons, right? One of the Fed, what they used to call them, Fed, I forget what they used to call them. They used to have a nickname for where they sent all those white collar. Oh, Club Fed. Yeah, Club Fed. Yeah, with tennis courts and stuff. Yeah. So even if you abuse and swim with a leather strap, it will last a good while before literally falling apart. Busurf in the house. There you go. Interesting points. And again, I think it depends on how it's made. If it's just two pieces glued together and it's water soluble glue, then you might have a problem the first time you swim with it. Camp Cupcake, Cheetown in the house. And let's see, Kyle, how long has Dr. Mancy been your dentist? Yeah, we're going to talk about Dr. Mancy. I'll tell you what, she is very impressive. Let me show her website again here. Here in Thurmont, Dr. Mancy. And so I've gone to her for about the last year. I had neglected my teeth. I had a dentist I was going to who will not be named down in Frederick, who used to be a sponsor on Frederick.com, who I actually removed. It's the only sponsor I've ever removed from the site. He turned out to be not the best. And so I got kind of burned there and wasn't happy. And I kind of withdrew, and it was probably 4 or 5 years before I decided to go to a dentist again. Actually, I had a broken tooth. That's why I went. Part of my tooth broke off, and it wasn't really painful, but I knew that was not a good thing. And so I made the appointment to go to the dentist here in Thurmont, and I had a great experience. And I've been back a few times. I go every 6 months for cleaning, and she has redone some of my fillings that were the old style fillings with the mercury in them and stuff. And she's redone a few of those and did just a fantastic job. And so I am now pleased again and happy to go to the dentist. So I think that's a good thing. And I'm flossing every day like I should be. I had been kind of doing a half-baked job of that. And so the last year or so, I've made renewed efforts to do that. And so, yeah, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do, our WAG said he had the whitening thing done by his dentist today, I think. I think I'm going to go ahead and have that done my next visit and see how that goes. And so I will keep you guys posted. But yeah, it's been about a year that I've been going there. Let's see here. Is a story of how you broke your tooth G-rated. Yeah. I don't remember now. I was probably eating popcorn or something like that. And what I did was I felt like a sharp piece there, like it just didn't feel right. And then I examined it and I noticed there was a piece missing from the tooth, just a piece off the corner of the tooth, not a big portion, but a decent, chunk off the side of the tooth. And I don't know if I swallowed the piece of tooth or where it ended up going, but I don't think I recovered the piece of tooth. And then it didn't, like I say, it didn't really hurt, but it just, when I would put my tongue over it, you could just feel these rough things that just didn't feel right. And I figured that eventually it would continue to break and fall apart and all that. And so I should have it dealt with. So I did. And she was great. She did on the initial visit, she did a full examination. She designed and built the partial crown, whatever you call it, and fitted it on my tooth. And basically we were done with that whole process. And it took several hours, 2-3 hours maybe total. But I was done. I didn't have to come back. She didn't have to send something out to a lab to get made or whatever. I mean, it was done and it was actually, fantastic. So that was really surprising. I have to say that staying off sugar has really helped alleviate my teeth sensitivity. Yeah, I'm careful what I eat. I don't really have much tooth sensitivity issues. I've only had maybe 4 cavities my entire life. And a couple of those have already been replaced with the correct stuff. And then I think I have 2 more that need to be replaced in the next visit. So, but yeah, my teeth generally are pretty decent. But like I say, there's been times when I've kind of neglected them. Now they're all chipped on the bottom. I got a bunch of chips from when I used to play football, and I've never had them fixed or anything. And I've always had spaces between my tooth, especially the middle tooth, the space. And I've had some dentists, want to sell me on braces and all that stuff, and I've never done that. My sisters all had braces, of course, girls, you have to have their teeth fixed and all so they can land the guy, right? So one thing that dentists have told me in the past is having the spaces between the teeth is actually a benefit from the plaque and things like that don't get caught in between as much, and it's easier to floss and clean everything. So there's some advantages to having the gaps, but they don't look as good. So trade-offs. Just like with watches, right? Trade-offs. Let's see here. There's always Invisalign as an option. Yeah, I think that is what, I think that's what Brianna might end up doing. She took a look at the picture of Brianna's teeth and said that she was definitely a candidate for that. So I think that might be in Bree's future, is some Invisalign and some whitening. So we're going to talk to the good doctor, Dr. Mansi Osa, and see if we can work out something and do a documentary video on that. I think that would be kind of fun. What else? Oh, did you see that video from that that channel that is expanding, that they say they're going to add like 5 new stores. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Hold on a second. These guys here.
Ah, the sweet sound of your bank helping you avoid overdrafts.
A lot of people don't know this, but the best way to make money with Amazon in 2021 is not by selling physical.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, Pete. How's it going?
I hate the silly
it's
ads.
good.
But anyway, these guys, have you guys seen this?
Marco and I have actually been talking this morning, and I think
making a power move.
I think we're just going to go ahead and pass.
So anyway, they are these hipsters are planning on opening up 5 more locations and all this. So evidently they've gotten real popular. I don't know. Do you guys follow those guys? I went ahead and subscribed just to see what they're up to, but I haven't really caught much of their stuff. It hasn't really been suggested in my feed. Timepiece Gentleman Archie is very angry and bitter with them. Did he help them get their start and then they threw him under the bus? I think that's happened a lot with Archie, where he's helped some people out and then they throw Archie under the bus. Is that what happened? Do tell. I want to hear the gory details. But they seem like a couple of hipsters. I don't think they particularly have good taste, but you know, that's not uncommon in this day and age. Okay, so what else? Okay, so Cheat Sound says mostly because they get on with life and actually wear their watches rather than cowering the watches away in a bank box. Okay, so they do actually wear nice watches. Do they wear gold stunners sometimes? Do tell. I don't. What were they wearing in this?
Understanding the bits and pieces that'll be going into play.
I can't really
we
tell
wanted to
what he's
spend
wearing.
some time discussing the campaign and make sure that we're the first physical thing that they're actually going to be getting from the company.
So one gentleman on our right is wearing
after
something. I think they look like they're both wearing watches on straps.
Some
I don't know
high-end
what they're
cars
wearing.
and one of the car companies that I have.
So let me know if you know what watches they're wearing in that. Let me know, and then I'll opine. When is Steve event this fall? I think it's the middle of October, and it's on a Friday and Saturday. So I don't know that he's actually set the actual dates. And every year, the last couple years, he's done it during the Rockville Car Show, which is a really nice show that I usually go to. And I've missed it the last 2 years, I think, because of because of Steve's event. So yeah, sold a watch to them, dealt with one of their salesmen, went smoothly. Kevin D. Okay, good. And I don't know the details personally. Unfortunately, saying rude things about women and sniffing high heels doesn't tend to be good for business. Is this what Archie does or what they do? Who does the sniffing the high heels? Is that Archie? Oh boy. What can I say? I tell you what, I mean, say what you will. I mean, he gets a lot of views and gets a lot of action on his channel. So people, I guess, eat that stuff up. So, and he's knowledgeable about watches, and he's finally come around to realize that Grand Seikos are a step up from a Rolex. He's finally come around and acknowledged that. So that's pretty good. Let's see. Blue says, I'd like to see Craig on Archie again. Yeah, but they were pretty nasty, so I don't know that I would go on even if I was invited, and I seriously doubt I'll be invited. So I'll let you take a guess. Craig, shouldn't be hard to figure out. Yeah, I guessed Archie. What happened to Clive, the real Clive? Good question. I think did he supposedly have a falling out with Archie and him and the Jewish guy Goldberg or whatever the heck his name is? Didn't they both have falling outs with the Archie fella? Let's see. Hi, all says Blue in the house. Where is Carlos? That's a good question. Does he have a note for not being here? They don't need Archie's help, LOL. They're far more successful, sadly. Also, Archie has been reduced to a perpetual vagrant. The last time I saw a thing, he seems to be in the same location as he was. Doesn't seem to have lost his digs. And Derek says, hi, Blue. And Carlos, call in with Lance. Thank you, Derek. Yeah, that would be nice. If people would call in. Let me put a link in the chat in case anybody wants to come in. You can't say that, that I'm not welcoming people. Link to join. Link to join. Okay. There. Let's see. The dog man, you mean the gentleman who wears plastic protectors over his gold subs bracelet links? Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't imagine. Craig, what about the AD and the day-date? They're not returning my calls. So I think I'm going to have to go out of town. I think maybe David SW or whatever, maybe he can help me. I think Carlos has some connections. You got to lean on Carlos and see if he can pull some strings for me. Derek, see if Carlos can pull some strings for me. He cannot stop begging for money. Well, hey, it seems to work. Anytime I've watched his live streams, even for a brief period, which is usually the case, I see super chats going in there. So obviously it works. So yeah, you can't fault him for doing what's working. Dogman, he's rude and stupid, LOL. Other than that, he's a good guy. Not so good looking either. Other than all that, he's a good guy, right? David SW. There you go. Yeah, I think they treated Carlos right. Craig, would you approve of a Segway GS collaboration? I think they should bring back the professional grade Segway and with a bunch of improvements. I really think they should. And could GS help them do that? Maybe. Yeah, my Grand Seiko, my Segway is still running pretty good. It's on the second set of batteries. Let's see. I beg for money too. If I could get my viewers buy me a 10 grand Louis Vuitton watch box. I saw that Louis Vuitton watch box. I would be shocked if that was actually 10 grand. If it was, somebody saw them coming. And my guess is it might even have been made in China. It might just be a total knockoff. So we'll see about all that. Dogman is certainly a no-coiner and a no-brainer. Craig, why not step up to solid gold teeth? Yeah, all gold teeth. There you go. Hey, when I had I had a crown done down in Florida. This was like maybe 10 years ago. I had a crown done down in Florida, and they gave me the option of porcelain, I guess it is, or gold. And it was the same price. And I don't know why I chose the porcelain. I really don't. I shouldn't have. I should have probably gone with the gold. I think that's the better way to go. And it was back in the back, right? The crown. So you wouldn't have seen it. But I just think gold probably is better was a better choice. And I don't know why I ultimately chose the porcelain. Maybe they talked me into it. It was like I tell you what it was. It was like a stainless steel with porcelain over it. It was really cool the way they made it. And so maybe I just went for that. They did a whole root canal. They put a titanium screw down in, and I mean, it was a heavy duty piece of work that they did. And it's held up. So yeah. So I've got that crown, and then I've got a partial crown that they did here in Thurmont. Let's see. Craig would look good in gold teeth. There you go. Hard to look at yourself in the mirror after a lifetime of begging. Well, he's kind of a carny, right? He's kind of like these carnival guys. Yeah, that's kind of what he is. He's kind of like a gypsy, sort of. If I had gold teeth, I'd learn how to do miming if I went to Baltimore, so I wouldn't get every one of them busted out of my head. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that would be a problem in Baltimore. Yeah, it could be a problem. They could go after your gold teeth. Okay, so I've added a couple of short little things here. I watched the Outlaw Josie Wales. That's a great movie. And I pulled a couple of clips out here. Probably might get a copyright strike, but what the heck? Let's go ahead and do it here. Of course, we already had this one here.
Man's got to know his limitations.
This one.
I know what you're thinking, punk. You're thinking, did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Now, to tell you the truth, I forgot myself in all this excitement. But being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and will blow your head clean off, you gotta ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Oh, wow. All right. So those are the old ones you've seen. And now here's a couple of new ones that I added recently. Okay. We'll play them all.
And your word of death?
It's here in my pistols, there in your rifles. I'm here for either one.
It's said that governments are achieved by the double tongues. And there is iron in your words of death for all Comanche to see. And so there is iron in your words of life. It shall be life.
Outlaw Josie Wales. That's a good one. Here's another scene from that movie.
Fell prey to Comancheros.
Let's have a drink to the damn silver running out. Give us some peace and quiet around here.
Well, that's bad luck, the silver running out.
I wouldn't have any other kind. What do you have?
I'm looking for Josie Wales.
That'd be me.
You're wanted, Wales.
I reckon I'm right popular. You a bounty hunter?
Yeah, he's got to do something for a living these days.
Dying ain't much of a living, boy. You know, this isn't necessary. You can just ride on.
to come back.
I know.
Dying ain't much of a way to make a living. All right, here's two more short ones.
Why, you gonna pull those pistols or whistle Dixie?
All right, just one more.
Now, ease them pistols out.
Oh, that was pretty quick. All right, got a few more messages here. Let's catch up. Did we lose the live stream? I hope not. Our Wags is here. All right. No, it wasn't really a implant, our Wags. It was a way for him to strengthen. It was not really an implant. So he did a root canal, and then I don't know what the difference is. Anyway, I guess I don't know what the difference is between the crown and the implant, but it was a full crown. I guess part of the tooth was still there. So I don't know. I don't know what the difference is, but they certainly didn't call it an implant. So yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's catch up here. Our Wags in the house. Okay. He says hello, and then our Wags is here. And then did we lose the stream? I hope not. I super chat Archie a few bucks every now and then. I'm patron of the arts. There you go. I paid him for a review one time. He did a good job. Let's see. Classic. And our Wag says hi. And Craig, did you see Family Plot with Bruce Dern? I think I did. I don't really remember that much about it, but I think I did see it. Let's see here. Hi, Wags, how are you? Okay, from Derek. Craig, you're 100% convinced in the superiority of GX to roll. Oh my gosh, yes. It's not even a close call. Now, I'm sure it depends on the model that you buy. But yeah, they don't make anything that could touch this 002. And their divers, their best divers, can't touch that 231, in my opinion. Not even a close call. Yeah. So there's that. These videos sum up the showdown Craig will have with the dog man. Yeah, probably wouldn't go well. And so doing well after Craig's dentist broadcast. I got my teeth whitening at the dentist today. Well, we need you to set up and join the show. We need you to call into the show, our Wags. Show us those pearly whites. Craig, you remind me of a cool high school teacher that plays classic movies in class, tells stories, and gives kids real world knowledge rather than teaching from useless textbook. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad. Lance is in the house. Speaking of somebody that has real world knowledge, Lance is in the house. And Craig, was Baltimore ever nice? Some of the events I've gone to have been nice, and there's certain sections that are, I think, probably still nice. But yeah, you got to be careful. A crown is glued on. An implant crown is placed on a titanium post that is implanted into the gum. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I really don't know. But he said that sometimes they don't they don't do it the way he did it. I don't know. But anyway, I don't want, it was like 10 years ago, so I don't remember all the details, but it's held up. So there you go. Lance, call in. Maybe later. Okay. Derek, call in. Craig, wait, we can't end. I didn't say anything about ending. Let's see. Watch out, Craig. Dogman is known to shoot her watches with a 22 Ruger. You know, a 22 will bounce off of some groundhogs. They're so tough. You know, you shoot them with a 22 and it like bounces off. Craig, I wonder how so many people pass on the 002 after seeing it. I assume people realize it may be too much to handle. It's the greatest watch of all time, worn by a legend. Yeah, I mean, obviously somebody didn't pass because Steve sold the other one that he had. It's gone. So, but it is a rare bird. I mean, the 002 is not, they're not common by any means. And I think Hodinkee in their article, they made the mistake of calling it a limited edition. It is not technically a limited edition. It is live in their catalog for sale. It has never been described as a limited edition. There's no number on the back that says, you know, X number of 1,000 or whatever. So now, is it limited in production? Absolutely. But it's not technically a limited edition, according to Grand Seiko. It's a normal product. Just like the 007 that's coming out, that's going to be a normal production piece, whereas the previous piece, was it the 003, the previous stainless steel one that they had? That was a limited edition. So, you know, there's a distinction between limited edition and limited production. Craig, we can't end now until 8 p.m. Okay. And the Craigster is a legend for sure. I don't know about all that. Hodinkee thinks everything is limited edition. She down. Yeah, I made a comment on their thing and their blog that, hey guys, you know, you need to get a little more accurate on this kind of stuff. Chip Wong claims his rose gold rainbow Daytona shits on the 002, but who knows what that guy. Yeah, the Daytona is just like an anomaly. It's something that was never popular back in the day, and now all of a sudden everybody wants it because they can't get it. You know, it's kind of pretty ridiculous. Craig sent a GS you should get for Bree. Okay. Are we discussing GS stunners today? That and a lot of other things. Okay, so let me check this email. Stand by. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. I'm not seeing where that would be any different than the one that she already has, but let me look. It looks like it's smaller. I guess it's a smaller watch. Yeah, see, it's only a 21 mil. So see, for her, she wouldn't like that. She likes the bigger size. But for some ladies that really want something petite, absolutely. Absolutely. I say yes. Press 1 if you want to see a live stream showdown, Craig versus Dogman. I don't think that would be helpful to me. I think it would only help him. I have a lot more to lose than he does, right? Let's see. I still think your watch rotation can't be complete without the day-date. Black Dial Day-Date 40 is going to be amazing for you, Triforce Rich. That's a possibility that I might end up with something like that. You never know. Greetings from Hungary. And perfect for Leslie, but I don't like that it doesn't have the GS at the top. Yeah, there is probably a newer model with the GS on the top, but my guess is it's going to go for a little bit more money to get the newer model. But yeah, Leslie, that would be cool for her to have an 18 karat gold stunner to rotate with her stainless steel stunner. Absolutely. That would be a good rotation. But of course, her current watch is like just the perfect all around wear all the time heavy use watch. But sometimes there's just something about having an 18 karat gold stunner on wrist if you're going out somewhere nice. And the beauty of having one that's a 9F movement, or the equivalent, ladies, I don't know if it's called a 9F, but anyway, the quartz movement is it's just a grab and go piece. That's the beauty of it. Chip Wrong sent me a wrist shot of his Daytona, and there was a nude woman's bottom end in the background. He gave no warning. Okay. Yeah, he's a little bit challenged when it comes to class. Yeah. I think the day-date and rotation would be perfect as well. I've been saying this for a while. I had a day-date and rotation, and the damn thing kept stopping on me because I wasn't wearing it enough. Listen to Kyle. He knows day-date's the way to go. Okay. And let's see. Craig, would you even wear an oyster quartz in solid 18 karat yellow gold? I don't like the integral case. I don't like the case design on those and the integral bracelet. That would be my deal killer on those. If they made one in the normal day-date case with the normal president bracelet and all, that could be a really cool watch. That would have solved my problem with the watch stopping on me, right? Because that wouldn't stop on you. So I think that would have been cool. Craig, would you ever wear a Tudor? I hear they are better than Rolex. Yeah, no, we would pass on the whole Tudor thing. We would take a serious pass on the whole Tudor thing. Yeah. Especially when we've got an 002 stunner. Let's see if we can get it up on camera too here. That is pretty freaking amazing, if you ask me. Let's see here. Something tells me Bree would like the day-date more than the 002. She really loves the 002. I mean, she really does. I mean, she used to wear it in some of her videos before she got her stunner, her gold stunner. So I don't know that that would be true. I don't know that that would be true. And everybody that's seen the 002 in person has been like, that thing is freaking amazing. So even those who, like you say, passed on it and didn't buy it, even they said it was stunning. Craig, you should give away the 231. Would make a great marketing campaign for your channel. I don't know that would really help much. Craig, if Chip Wrong ever sends you a wrist shot, don't open it on stream. His wrist shots always have scantily clad beautiful women in the background. He goes through hundreds of supermodels a year. Yeah, that could be a problem for my G-rated channel. Absolutely, it could be. By the way, here's the thing. If this channel got more popular, I wouldn't be able to respond to every comment. There'd be too many comments coming through. And so there'd be a downside to that too, if you think about it. Give me the 231, says Blue. Would you wear it? Would you wear it all the time? Do tell. Let's get my ticker on here again. TV. I'm going to put the TV worth. I'm actually going to put a little plug for Steve. Let's put his little thing up there. There you go. That's where you get the Grand Seikos, littletreasury.com, littletreasury.com. And a little plug for Frederick.com. That's how you support local businesses, Frederick.com. So, and if you want to learn about Bitcoin, find Adam at disruptmeister.com, the Bitcoin guy. So, yeah, I think so. Bitcoin took a little pullback here recently. We'll see what happens. I'll wear it all the time, says Blue. All the time. There you go. What are you wearing now? Do tell. What would it displace? What would get kicked out? Triforce, would it upset you if Chip Wrong and Bree became romantically involved? He's a Bitcoin billionaire, allegedly, but Bree might not like him. Tattoos, 3-day hipster beard, tight clothes. Well, okay, let me show that. I got to show the comment. Yeah, if he can put up some Bitcoin, with Bitcoin, it's put up or shut up, right? I mean, you can talk the talk, but you need to walk the walk. If he sends the Bitcoin, she's got the donation links on her website. If he sends the Bitcoin in an adequate amount, then I think that he'd be in the running. He'd be a player, right? But you can't talk the game with Bitcoin. That's the beauty of Bitcoin, is you either rock it or you don't. Let's see. I have the Seiko Astron on wrist at the moment. Okay. Maybe Craig can share a wrist shot. I just did earlier. Let's see. My Astron. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, why don't you come in? Oh, Lance is in here. Let me bring Lance in.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, and I want to double check the audio. Make sure, folks, let us know that the audio is good. Go ahead and let us know what you've been up to.
Yeah, so nothing much right now. I'm wearing the Seiko Diver. You see it?
Yep.
Yep. Got this on now, and I worn this one a few days so far. In the week, I've worn this one probably the most. And yeah, and I see that you have the 002.
It's holding up good.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, it's really solid. It's very you can wear it with a lot of different outfits, so that's why I like it. And also, it's got the and then it's a diver's watch, so it's great with water and everything. It's not going to get damaged, so that's good.
And folks, let us know how the audio sounds for Lance. And yeah, I didn't notice you right away down there below. So you always should. And I'll always put in the normal chat that you're coming in, because that is what I'm watching more than the private chat.
Okay.
Just so you know. Carlos Lance. Okay, looks like he's made a little money. I showed all those. How is your Omega, Lance?
The Omega's good, yeah, and I got it right here in the box.
Okay. All right, and the reason, folks, why I asked about the audio is, instead of using the earbuds, I've got him on the speaker here, not that far from this microphone, so it's possible there could be feedback back in, but it sounds like it's working okay. So do let me know if you hear any feedback at all, and then we'll know. But I like this setup better, because if I do have a guest, we can both hear the guest coming in, into the broadcast without having to wear headphones, each of us, right? So that's why I have it on this setup. Let's see, Lance, which watches have you gotten rid of?
Okay, so I really haven't gotten rid of any watches lately. The last ones I sold was the Tag, the Breitling, and that's it. Just the Tag and the Breitling.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, but I'm just gonna save up until I can afford a Submariner.
So a Submariner, straight up
no
Submariner,
date.
not a Submariner. Not a Submariner date.
Probably a no date.
Good.
One from like the mid to late 2000s. That's probably the one I want to get.
So that would be a pre-super case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a pre-ceramic one, because
Yeah,
I don't like in that super case design. It's too. I think that the case is a little bit too thick, and the lugs are kind of chunky on it.
And squared off looking. It just
Yeah.
looks. Yeah, and I don't think it's as comfortable on wrist either.
Yeah, I don't think it's comfortable, because I tried that one on once at the Rolex store, and it wasn't. It felt just too big.
Yeah, and the real advantage to the Grand Seikos is that case shape, right? The way it drapes around, and that's what makes it so comfortable on the wrist. And the Rolex over the years has gotten away from that, and I guess because they think it looks better or whatever. I don't know really what their rationale is, but for whatever reason, they've gotten away from the comfort on wrist and gone to this chunky, chopped off, funky looking case. But it's the same thing with these new suits that these hipsters are wearing that are real short cut and real tight, and all those can't be comfortable when you move and all, right? One of the reasons why they put a little more fabric in a high-end suit, or they used to, was, it was more comfortable to move around and to sit down. Like if your pants are real tight, right, and you go to sit down, they bind around the knee and around the thighs and all that. It does not feel comfortable. That's why khakis have traditionally been, fairly loose fitting. And there's a reason for it. It's just a lot more comfortable. And on hot days as well, there's more room in there to separate the air and to make it breathe better and all of that. So there's a whole lot of reasons why things were made the way they were for many, 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 many years. And then now all of a sudden these hipsters think that they can change all that and it makes sense. So let's see.
I definitely feel the same way about that. About like
somebody says, Ultraman 1 says Rolex Super Case is very uncomfortable. And Kyle's Submariner is very comfortable. Okay. And let's see here. Check your email, Craigster. Okay, we'll check that. Most fakes, almost all are sub dates. Much harder to fake a no date sub. Okay, that's a good point. All right, let me check the email. Oh yeah, this was shared with me before. This bug out Humvee. That's a pretty wild looking rig. Definitely, if somebody needed a bug out vehicle, that might be one of the ways to go. So yeah, let's make it a little bit. Can we make it? Oh, I guess we can't. Okay, yeah, I like it like that better. So yeah, that's a possibility. All right. Cheetown says, hey, Lance. And Kyle says, not harder to fake, just harder to find one. They fake the date subs because that is what most people want. Okay. Yeah, why not? Lance, when do you get access to your trust fund? Says Triforce Rich. Wouldn't you like to know, Triforce Rich? So let's see. Rich coming in with the real questions now. All right. So I don't know. What else can you update us on? What's going on this summer?
Let's see. Well, I'm gonna be playing a lot of golf, and I'm going on 2 trips, so I'm excited.
How's your game? How's your golf game coming?
It's pretty good. Yeah, I've been playing for like 5 years, and when I was in school, high school, I was on the golf team, and I played in some matches. So, yeah.
Are you close to a scratch golfer yet?
I'm pretty good at it. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm like an expert in golf. Like there's still a lot for me to learn. But I can, like, for example, at the course I play at, it's 9 holes, so, and the par is 35, and I usually shoot like a 51 or a 52
Okay.
on it. So yeah.
All right. Well, you're getting there. You're getting there. Now, how are you going to have to get it down to where you're almost a scratch golfer before you can get a full scholarship to college?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And so Kyle is asking about college. He's saying,
Yeah,
Lance, what about college? Are you planning on going in the fall?
Yeah, I'm attending UConn, and I'm gonna major in marketing at UConn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for that.
Good. And they're gonna hopefully they're gonna be fully open this fall.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, they're gonna
no more
be fully
masks.
open, no more online, no masks.
No masks. None of
Yeah.
this silliness. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely.
I still see
very
some
silly.
people wearing. I still see some people wearing masks here in Maryland, but it's usually the liberals that are just virtue
Yeah.
signaling. There's
I
usually
see that
like
here too. A lot
you
of
see them in like
the
Costco.
liberals,
Like
they wear.
there'll be a
Yeah.
woman with like a couple of kids, and even her little kids will have masks on, so that they can show that they're with it and all this stuff. But I think that even that's going to go away. I think people are just going to not put up with it at some point. I think they're going to say that it's absolutely silly. And Kyle says, good choice, Lance. Good for you.
Thank you, Kyle.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you for calling in. We've been about an hour now, and I'm glad we were able to do a show. We are going to wrap it up. We do have one more question for you from Triforce Marketing. You should connect with Corey Wilson James. He is a marketing legend. Good choice.
Okay.
Do you know who Corey Wilson James is?
I'm not sure. I know I've seen him in the chat a few times.
But you've never met him or anything?
I'm not really familiar with that name.
And Blue says, nice call, but wait. Cheetown says, people will wear double masks outside and live in full fear in San Francisco. They're in full fear that they won't have to wear their masks anymore. And somebody says, no, we can't. And that is, we need to show my watch, says Blue. Can't end. And Craig, please. I emailed. Okay, we'll check the email. Blue's calling in. All right, they're all starting to panic, Lance. But let's see the email here. Hold on. Okay, here is the Astron. The Astron. That is cool looking.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a chronograph. I'm not a chronograph guy, but that's a neat looking watch. It looks like it's got brushed center links, unlike the Daytona, which has polished center links, which are silly. This looks like a straight up sport watch. This looks pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's a good one. Let's see what else we got in here. Zoom in on that puppy. We'll show it again once Lance leaves. We'll show it full screen, but just give me a second here to catch up. Let's see here. Lance, are you going to flex your Omega on the ladies at University of Connecticut?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Why not? Why not? You should ask Craig to let you borrow the 002 and see if it gets you all the young ladies. I don't think he needs the 002.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs the 002. He's a strapping, good-looking guy that's got a lot of class. You know what? There was an exchange on Instagram or whatever with Brianna and some people, and somebody asked her about the younger guys. Does she find that the younger guys like aren't well dressed and aren't well behaved? They don't have manners and so on. That you almost have to go for the older guys, to get all of that. And she said, yeah, she said it's a big problem. And so see somebody like Lance, who's well behaved and classy and dresses nice and all that.
Thank you.
He's going to be a rarity. Okay. So the ladies are just going to be lining up. They're just going to be going all over him. So absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Dogman has stuff to borrow. It will get attention from the young gentleman. Oh, geez. Glad to know you still have it. There you go. All right. So we're going to let you go. And one last question before you go. Do you think that something like the 002 Stunner, do you think that it could be worn all the time? I mean, I'm talking about when you're in the hot tub. I'm not talking about when you're, playing tennis. I'm just talking about just general daily wear.
Yeah. I think that it can be. I think it depends on what outfit you wear with it. Like if you wore, for example, like a t-shirt or something, I don't know how well it would match with that. But if you wore like a polo shirt or a button down or something
polo
like
shirt
that,
and khakis, something like
polo
that.
shirt and khakis, like that's what I wear a lot.
Like a nice pair of handmade moccasins.
Yeah, something like that.
Nice alligator belt, something like that.
And what else? And I think it's a great watch to wear every day. I really like how thin it is. But I think the only downside is that I know that for a dress watch, it's looks better when there's no date on it. But I think if you're going to wear it every day, that's something that is useful.
Oh, I can get the date off my phone. I don't need the date that often. Yeah.
Okay,
I actually I've totally converted to where I love not having the date, just because you don't have to worry about it. If the month has 31 days, 30 days, whatever. I mean, it's just a non-issue.
Uh-huh.
You just don't have to worry about it. So, all right. Well, Blue asks another follow-up question. Lance, do you think you would survive in prison? I'm following suit with Booser's question to Craig earlier.
I never really thought about that, but
well, you'd be at like a camp fed. I mean, you'd be at one of those country club prisons anyway.
Yeah,
it would. Yeah, so you'd be okay.
Yeah.
Leather is too sticky in Florida. I guess if you sweat a lot, I mean, I don't tend to. My wrist doesn't really sweat that much unless I'm playing tennis or something, and I wouldn't be wearing it then. So I don't know. All right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for calling in.
Yep. No love. Lance, have a good day, Craig.
Lance from the upper north, the northeast, Connecticut. There you go. And let's see. Let's take another look at this watch, this Stunner. There's the Stunner. Positively, the Stunner. All right. And Dress for Success, says the lovely Lady Brianna. What if they're machine-made moccasins? No. They have to be hand-stitched. At least the front part needs to be hand-stitched. They can't do that by machine. They haven't invented a machine that will do that stitch yet on the front part of the moccasin. Dress for Success. Craig, are you in Florida now? No, I'm not. It's too hot and humid there. Bree is here and she is calling, Craig. Well, no, I don't think she's calling in. If she was calling in, we would keep going. But I don't think she's going to call in today. Bree should visit Lance in college. She could sleep over at his dorm. Whoa, we're getting a little risque here on the show. Bree wants to call in. We can't in yet. Maybe she'll do a show soon. She said she was calling. Derek will do anything to get the show extended. All right. Thanks, everybody, for chiming in. I'm getting hungry. I get mean when I get hungry, so we're going to wrap this puppy up. Thank you for hanging out, and do enjoy.